1. What is meant by thoughts? First, by thoughts, the scriptures comprehend all the internal acts of the mind of man, of whatever faculty, all of those reasonings, consultations, purposes, resolutions, intentions, ends, desires, cares, etc. of the mind of man, as opposed to our external words and actions. In Isaiah 66 verse 18, all acts are divided into those two. For their works and their thoughts it shall come. That which is transacted within the mind is called the thoughts. Whatever manifests themselves, breaking out into actions, are called works. So we see in Genesis 6 verse 5, every imagination of the thoughts, that is, all that which the mind frames within itself, the purposes, desires, etc., are only evil continually. This is said of the things that come into your mind, Ezekiel 11 verse 5, and so we use it and understand it. So to remember a man is to think of him, to have purposed a thing. We say, I thought to do it. To take care about a business is to take thought, 1 Samuel 9 verse 5. The reason these are all called thoughts is because indeed all our affections, desires, purposes are stirred up by our thoughts. They are bred, fomented, and nourished by them. Never does a thought pass, but it stirs up some affection of fear, joy, care, or grief, etc. Although in this place, Jeremiah 4 verse 14, they are so largely taken, yet the vanity of thoughts in so large a sense cannot be handled at present. But our subject shall be that which is more properly called the thinking, meditating, considering power of man. In this sense, thoughts are not opposed only to your works, but opposed to your purposes and intentions. So is the soul and spirit, Hebrews 4 verse 12, so thoughts and attentions seem to be opposed. And in Job 20 verses 2 through 3, thoughts are appropriated to the spirit of understanding. And again, yet more strictly, for not all the thoughts and the understanding are to be handled here, not the reasonings or deliberations in our actions, but only the speculative part, those more simple conceits, apprehensions that arise, those fancies and meditations which the understanding, with help of imagination, frames within itself of things, those on which your minds ponder and pore and muse. This is what I mean here by thoughts. I mean those talkings of the mind with the things that we know, Proverbs 6 verse 22. Those same interviews, chattings which the mind has with the things that are let into it, with the things that we fear, with the things that we love. For our minds make all these things their companions, and our thoughts discourse with them, having 1,000 concepts about them. This I mean by thoughts. We have a reasoning power, a deliberating power, by which we ask ourselves continually, what shall we do? By this we reason and discuss things, which is a more inward closet, the cabinet and secret counsel of the heart. But there is a more outward place, that presence room which entertains all comers, which is the thinking, meditating, musing power in man. This suggests matter for deliberation, for consultation, for reasoning. This holds the objects until we view them, and entertains all that come to speak with any of our affections. Secondly, that which the mind frames within itself, for so the scripture expresses their origin to us and their manner of rising. Frowardness, perverseness, is in the heart. Proverbs 6 verse 14. And he is always forging mischief. Like a smith, he is always hammering it out. It is the thoughts that are the materials of this perverseness in us. Upon all the things which are presented to us, the mind conceives some thoughts and imaginations. As lusts are conceived, so are thoughts. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. Isaiah 59 verse 4. In verse 7, he instances in thoughts of iniquity because our thoughts are spun out of our own hearts. They are eggs of our own laying, though the things presented to us may be from outside us. This is added to separate them from such thoughts as are injected and cast in from the outside, which are children of another. Such are blasphemous thoughts, which are cast in by Satan, in which the soul may be merely passive, as the word buffet implies in 2 Corinthians 12, verse 7. They are not of your thoughts, but they are his. It is as when one, in a different room, hears another swear and curse, but cannot get away from him. Such thoughts, if they are only from without, do not defile a man. For nothing defiles a man but what comes from within. Matthew 15. That is, that which the heart has conceived within it, as thoughts of uncleanness, in which, although Satan himself be the father of them, the heart is the mother and womb. These therefore the heart loves, as a mother loves her natural children. It is by that we may distinguish them from the others outside.